are back for another episode of the Itsy Bitsy Zoomcast. I'm Liz Charlene Tate, the Early Childhood Education Lead Coach from Western Professional Development Center. We have been asking folks to share their stories with us this season. Sheila and I find ourselves grinning from ear to ear, moved at times to tears, and delighted to share this space with hardworking professionals from the early childhood field.
My name is Sheila Gould. I'm the Early Childhood Coordinator at Holyoke Community College, and I'm so happy that we're in our third season of the Itsy Bitsy Zoomcast and our third semester of the project. And every semester, I invite a practicum student to come on to episodes and serve as guest hosts. So today, our guest host is Logan. Logan, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Logan.
Logan is doing her practicum at Zatella Preschool in Chicopee, and she's doing great. I just observed her this week, and we had an awesome visit.
Thank
like
you.
Kids there? Yeah, they're pretty sweet.
Yeah, they're great.
So, Liz, all of our episodes have been really special, every single one of them. But this one is extra special for you and your work as a coach and your work with a really specific program through Strong Start. So I would love for you to introduce our guests tonight.
Oh, thank you, Sheila. So I'm just giddy having Marcia and Kelly on. And so I just want to describe to you one of the things that I do for the Strong Start Western Professional Development Center is provide facilitated professional learning communities, also known as PLCs, to the mixed delivery system. And one of the PLCs that I run is a two-part 30-hour course created by the Institute of Early Education Leadership and Innovation from UMass Boston. This course is called Leading for Change. It's a research-based leadership development program for early childhood administrators and educators in early education and care programs. Participants gain a deeper understanding of themselves as leaders and change agents and explore concrete ways to improve professional practice, early education quality, and promote social and racial justice in program systems serving young children and families. I had the privilege of working with our two guests who completed the Leading for Change course in October, just last Saturday. Although the Leading for Change modules are complete, their inspiring projects are only just beginning. So I would love for Kelly and Marcia to just introduce themselves briefly, and then we'll get into their stories. Kelly, would you like to go first?
Absolutely. Hi, I'm Kelly Cavallini. I've been in the early childhood education field for over 28 years now, and I'm currently a family child care provider in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Thank you. And Marcia?
Hi, I'm Marcia Gatson-Harris, and I've been operating Marcia's Little Rascals family child care in Springfield for 38 years.
Thank you both for being with us. Both of you took on the challenge of designing a change project. You have dedicated your time and energy to researching and developing your visions. You also took on the task of networking professionally to find partners and collaborators with the goal of turning your dreams into a reality. What inspired you to take action and put the wheels in motion to make your vision a reality? Can you tell us how it started and where you are now with your project?
Kelly, do you want to go first?
Sure, absolutely. So my change project was inspired by a huge need that I noticed in the field as I network with a lot of other family child care providers, and I've already started my path to becoming a coach for other family child care providers. And in that process, I've noticed providers are struggling very, very hard with creating curriculum materials at home. We don't have the room or the space for big equipment, so we have to go out and do it. And because of that, we have to go to multiple stores, we have to go to Staples, we have to go to craft store, we have to go everywhere to get photocopies done and laminations. And sometimes our hands are tied and we just have to outright buy things. And I noticed a lot of providers are buying pre-made curriculum kits through the mail, which are not always developmentally appropriate, and they're very, very expensive. I think my change project was definitely inspired by this need. So taking that, moving that forward, I want to create a resource room for family child care providers to use and utilize. With that being said, I want to make sure that this resource room is stocked full of lamination materials, die cut machines, bookbinders, anything we need to make cubby tags and laminate posters and create any kind of manipulatives, interactive posters, anything we can do to saturate our children's environments with our themes and the things and the goals that we want to teach our children. That being said, I think that these things already exist somewhere, and I'm trying my hardest to get connected with everybody I can to find a way to partnership with a lot of them. I've reached out so far to EEC, Allison Solitaire, Amy Carey, and some of the libraries in the area. I want to reach out to the local community colleges because I remember my time at Stick. And I remember that beautiful resource room, which I used before I graduated, and I stocked up on as many die cut materials that I could possibly bring paper in to make so that I knew I could have my daycare ready to go. And I want that for all these providers so that they can have a meeting place. And then hopefully down the road, we can use that resource room on a regular basis. We can use it for meetings. We can use it as a place to swap information or exchange items or extra materials that someone might have and not need anymore with other providers that would be in need of those materials. And even further, possibly use it as a meeting space to host workshops.
Absolutely.
Use that material and show, have show and shares and bring in theme boxes and say this, you can use this material and you can make this. And then by the time you go home, you're going to be so inspired by each other to just keep going and moving forward. So that's my hopes. We're getting there.
I am tearing up. That is my charge, is, helping teachers have the resources to make the materials that mean something to their students and not something store-bought all the time. And that is such a need. And I will do whatever I can to make your change project come to life. I mean, that's just, I'm on it. I'm in. I'm sold.
Hey, you're on my contact list, Sheila.
There we go.
Right. Good. Perfect. I'll watch for your emails. That's perfect.
Sheila, I have to say that was one of the parts of the Leading for Change project that they did for Module 2 was to identify allies. Who can they reach out to? And folks also had to create sort of their elevator speech. What will you say when you get the opportunity to meet with people? So they really got to think through their projects to the point of, how do I make this real? How do I turn this into an action plan? So it's really exciting to hear Kelly's story. And I know where she's at, and I can envision Kelly doing a workshop at this resource center. I can see you there. It's a beautiful thing to manifest. So,
and I'm going to bring my students to your workshop. We're coming.
My mind is full of ideas, just full.
So, Marcia, it's your turn, and I know that you might be a little nervous to speak without looking at your notes, and I want you to know that's perfectly fine, because we have to do that as well sometimes. So if you want to share your story, and please do, and we will be asking you lots of questions too. So
Okay. Again, I'm Marcia Gatson Harris. Before, during, and I'm sure after the pandemic, diverse inner city families, single parents, they've been experiencing crises and lots of traumas. The anxiety levels are up, depression, suicide, abuse, neglect, separations, there's been divorces, parents were incarcerated, but it's all on a rise. The trauma has affected each of my families in different ways. And it's been a concern for myself and for other educators. After doing my research with lots of families and my fellow colleagues, the agency that I'm affiliated with, the library, I could contact the city library. I've recently embarked on strategies for children advocacy program. And I spoke with Titus and they're very excited and we're all in agreement. This is such a need for social emotional education in our community. The families do not feel comfortable talking to their doctors. They're unsure who to talk with. They're not trying to lose their child to DCF, bringing, when they talk about their personal issues and crises and things that are going on. So most recently, while attending the Strong Start Leadership for Change, we were invited to do a project of change. And I felt strongly compelled to design a social emotional training, which would have a kit that's going to support our families, educators, just promote social emotional skills. The kits would have like books, they'd have materials, resources, and I actually came up with a name probably around 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to call it a help kit. And this help kit, again, it's going to be lots of resources inside. So if you can see it or not, the H,
Right up.
the H is going to be hope, hugs. The E stands for education, empowerment, and empathy. The L, love, listening ears. P for patience, positivity, and partnership. Yeah, it's just something I'm just so passionate about. I just feel that there's such a need in the community right now. Everyone seems to be going through a lot. Yeah.
And something that both of you, Kelly, and you have shared is the fact that families go to you to talk about these issues. They're talking to you.
Right.
And so I love this project that you're developing, because what you want are to have materials ready for families.
Yes.
So you can support them and they can get those materials, maybe a library, and to offer trainings too. I know you're developing a training that you could offer to other family childcare providers. And it's so exciting to see your dream become a reality. You mentioned Titus, who's from Strategies for Children,
Yes.
and he's reached out to you and is partnering with you, which is exciting. And you've also spoken to the Springfield Library, as
Yes.
Kelly has.
Ellen.
And so I envision someday your kits being in the resource room that Kelly is envisioning.
Yes. We're all tied in together. That's what we have to realize. We're all tied together, and together, that's where we're going to make that difference,
That's
So.
a big thing that Liz and I have reflected on as we've moved through, just even starting the Itsy Bitsy Zoomcast. One of the reasons we landed on that name, we had a couple of working titles, but we started to see threads between people, between their ideas, between their experiences, between their needs. And it really is this visceral vision of a web, these threads of community that exist within early education and care and the mixed delivery system that not everybody gets to see. And I'm really glad that on this Zoomcast, you had one more place to share just the beauty that's going on in your minds with ideas, and in your hands with the work that you're doing with children, and the love that and support you're giving families, just giving them a safe space to talk about their struggles, and giving other family childcare providers opportunities to come up with ideas and empower them to make their own curriculum based on the needs and the interests of their children. I'm just really, really moved tonight, and I'm thrilled that Liz had you both join. And I'm thrilled that Logan got to hear from you too.
I love this. I'm all about like helping, and that's like the main reason why I wanted to be a teacher. Was I had this one teacher that changed my life, and she found out that I had a learning disability, and then after that it's made me more confident, and having the extra help from teachers and people that helped me with more of my curriculum, it really made a difference.
That's fantastic. Something that people don't know until they're in it is how hardworking family childcare providers are. You don't know until you speak to someone who is doing the work. These are business women who are operating programs that, how many hours are you open, Marcia or Kelly, per day?
About 9-10 hours, between 9 and 10 hours a day.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and it doesn't end when the last child leaves.
No.
It's right. And so I think that if there's any group that I want to sort of elevate and celebrate, right now it's family childcare providers. And I wonder if either one of you have a message or a little something that you might want people to know before we close tonight.
Well, I definitely would offer my services to Logan as well if you want, because it's really about making those connections with other people, because we learn so much from each other. I know so many amazing educators in the early childhood field, and nobody knows about them. Like it's amazing to see and make those connections and attend things. So, the more people you know, and you can just kind of play off of each other and throw ideas out at each other, you're welcome to my contact information anytime.
Thank you.
And come and see my program when COVID's over and we can have visitation again, because you would be amazed at all my my little ones.
Thank you. I appreciate
Welcome.
it.
You're welcome.
Yes. It is.
Well,
Together we
thank
can
you.
do it.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I'm just thrilled that you were willing to come on the Itsy Bitsy. And we're going to close with a quote from Oprah Winfrey that Logan is going to read for us.
Wherever you are, that's your stage, your circle of influence. That's your talk show. That's where your power lies. You have the power to change somebody's life. Everyone has a calling, and your real job in life is to figure out what that is and get about the business of doing it. Oprah Winfrey.
That's just perfect for tonight. And I'm so grateful to all of you for being here on the Itsy Bitsy Zoomcast. And we are very happy to continue to share your change projects and keep helping you make more and more and more connections. And we're thrilled that you took the time to be with Liz and Logan and I tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you.